Okay, so today I'm going to be doing the review finally of the one-to-one Sideshow Darth Vader bust. It's been a long time coming. I've had all kinds of problems. The computer keeps crashing, but I think I've finally got it on this one. Darth Vader, he doesn't really need any introduction, does he really? I remember seeing the original Star Wars film back in 1977 with my dad at a cinema in Birmingham, which I believe has now closed now, many years ago. And it was a fabulous film. And then of course, following on from that, Lucas, he blessed us with The Empire Strikes Back, and of course Return of the Jedi. It finished off the saga. Then for many years it went quiet, and Lucas, he returned and finished the storyline by way of episodes 1, 2 and 3. I think originally, looking back on the early films in the 70s and 80s, the story very much felt like it was about Luke and Han and Leia and of course the droids. And but after I saw the prequels from Lucas, episodes 1, 2 and 3, and you look back at all the films as a whole, it very much feels like that the underlining story on those was all about Darth or Anakin, how he was growing up as a young boy, and then as he turned evil and turned into Darth Vader. But then of course in Return of the Jedi, he redeems himself and he goes good again at the end of that, so it's a happy ending. But they were phenomenal films, and I think most people will agree, probably some of the best films of all time even. But for now, I'm going to get on with this review with the one-to-one bust, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so moving up, you've got the chest shield, and that's all part of the same sculpt. You've then got the cloak itself, which is double-sided. It's cotton on one side and kind of a silk effect on the other side, with a leatherette kind of finish around the top section, and then that's all pinned in place with this kind of steel effect chain. It actually looks like plastic or nylon. It's quite interesting actually seeing this head sculpt up close, because I had no idea that that the face was actually made up of different colours. I thought it was initially all black, but in fact it's almost like a harlequin pattern. On this side it's black, on this side it's silver, then this is black, then this is silver, then this is silver, and this is black, and that's how it follows through on the whole of the face mask. So there's some views with the mask on. What I'll do now is take the mask off. I was expecting the helmet to be quite lightweight and flimsy, but in fact the helmet is exceptionally heavy. Then we come to the mask itself underneath the helmet. Let me give you a bit of a twirl around this as well. So there's all the insides of the helmet. Although these look like metal, they are all in fact plastic and then just painted in kind of a silver and a bronze colour. Now, as you can imagine, Anakin has been in this suit for many years, so there's not much of a complexion on Darth Vader. Obviously, Sideshow went with the painted eyes, which initially I was a little bit against, and I thought, you know, it's just not going to be as good as acrylic or glass eyes. But as it turned out, they've made a really good job on the eyes. They are really well painted. I'm not sure if these are some sort of a printed eye, perhaps applied onto vinyl and then applied into the white area and then over painted with a gloss film. I'm not sure. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a painted eye completely, but I have a feeling it's printed and then applied onto the eye itself. With a close-up of the scarring on the side of the cheek. A few people have already pointed this out, that if you look at Darth straight on, the left eye, it does look a little bit lazy on the one side, but he is meant to be looking over to his left, so if you view it from other angles it looks fine. It's only when you literally look straight on that it can look a little bit odd, and if you turn it that way again it looks fine again. So that's probably your best bet, just to have it viewed in your collection room looking slightly to the left, but yeah, straight on as you can see. And it's not unique, it's on all the busts I've seen so far, to be honest with you. Okay, so this section I'm just going to give you an idea of the scarring on top of the head and at the back of the head. Looks pretty nasty and all dried out and pale, as you can see. And then, like what I've already showed you, there's another view of the back of the head. One thing I've noticed, it appears to have a magnet. I kept on thinking that every time I was putting this on I was dropping it down a bit too hard, and I've come to realise that it's obviously got some kind of magnet in the bottom of there and on top of the inside of the neck, because as soon as you start to lower it in, it literally it pulls it out your hand. So and you need to be really careful as well lining it up, because the last thing you don't want to do is scuff the sides of it. And then for those of you who want to see a bit more of the inside of the neck, as you can see it's made up of lots of different components. Most of it is all part of the sculpt and it's just been painted. Like for instance, that looks like some metal braided hose, but in fact it's all part of the sculpt. Likewise on these components here, again it's all part of the sculpt, and these red cables along here. As far as the individual elements go, it's what you can see, which is these microphone pieces on these black rods, and then you've got some steel cabling on both sides. When I first saw this at the Comic Con, I was expecting that the head would actually be all part and parcel of the main bust, but obviously it's separate, and the reason behind that is that you can't put the head mask over the top of Anakin. So Anakin's head has to be removed in order to put the mask on and then the helmet on, and that is the only way it's going to work basically. And then the helmet goes on top. And this is where I think that Sideshow have let us down really, because I don't agree with this exclusive system on this bust. In my books, a hat stand is not an exclusive. An exclusive to me is like a swap out arm or a swap out head on one of the premium formats, but a stand, when you're supplying a 3-component system like this, then you have to have the stand, and I really don't agree with what Sideshow have done with this. I try and source my stuff off a UK supplier. Ordering direct off Sideshow for me, because the exchange rate is so bad, it's not really an option. And then of course on top of that I'm going to be charged 20% import duty and then a shipping charge as well. So I have to get my collectibles here in the UK. So that stand is a necessity. It really isn't an exclusive. But that's the end of this review. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. There's more to come. I've got some more reviews from Master Replicas coming up shortly. So I'll speak to you soon. Bye.